Now it's pretty important in our household. When you have a dinner, you've got to have a dessert. So I got cracking this week and I made a chocolate tart. It was pretty phenomenal, I've got to say. So it had a nice sort of short crust base, and we've got a nice sort of chocolate moussey sort of centre with a bit of shaved white chocolate on the top. Absolutely fantastic. Really actually quite easy to throw together. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. To kick things off, we're going to start with our base. Now we're going to need a nice really crisp base for our chocolate to sit in. So we're going to start with 2 cups of flour, followed by 3 tablespoons of white sugar. Throw in some salt, around 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And all we're going to do is just grab some butter. Now I've got 170 grams of softened butter, cut it into cubes. And we're just going to either put this in a food processor if you've got one, nice and easy, or just mix it in until it resembles fine breadcrumbs with your fingers. Once you're at this stage, we're going to beat 1 egg, and we're going to add this into our flour mixture along with 2 tablespoons of ice cold water. You might need a little bit more water, just add it a teaspoon at a time. We want it to pull together, just pull together, and we're going to stick it in the fridge once we've formed it into a nice ball. Now the trick for any good crisp pastry is you've got to work really fast. So once it's been in the fridge for around half an hour, whack it out. Make sure you roll nice and quickly on a floured surface until roughly around 3 to 4 millimeters thick. And we're going to stick this into our pie tin. Now if you don't have a pie tin, you can use a cake tin also. I'm using a cake tin, it works just as well. Or you can just use a normal pie dish as well. So roll it out to your desired thickness, like I said, 3 to 4 millimeters. And then just layer it into your pie tin. Make sure it's greased up so you don't want your pastry to stick while we cook it. Now once you have your pastry pressed in your pie dish or your pie pan, we're going to stick this into an oven and we're going to bake it for around 30 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. That's 350 degrees Fahrenheit for you Americans. I don't really bother with putting down weights in your pastry to prevent it from buckling. As long as you keep it cold enough and we put it straight into the oven, I've never really had a problem. So it's up to you really. Now while we're waiting for our pastry, our pie crust to cook, we're going to move on to the filling. Now on a medium to high heat, we're just going to warm up or heat up 300 milliliters of full cream. Once it's just before it's boiling, we're going to take it off the heat, and into it we're just going to melt in roughly around 250 to 300 grams of chocolate. It can be bittersweet chocolate, it can be milk chocolate, it's entirely up to you. It can be dark chocolate even, it's up to you. I don't really like dark chocolate, so I've gone with a milk chocolate sort of setting. So we're just going to melt this in with our hot cream, and you should have a nice sort of thick mixture. Into the mixture we're going to add in 3 large egg yolks. We just beat up really quickly, and make sure you mix it into your chocolate and cream mixture thoroughly. With our pie crust out of the oven, look at that, nom nom nom, nice and crisp pie crust. We're just going to let this set aside and let it cool just for a little bit before we stick in our filling that we've just made. Now it's a really good idea to put in our chocolate and cream mixture that we've just made into a pouring jug so it pours into your pie dish really nice and easily. Don't be concerned about the sort of liquid nature of your chocolate filling, it will firm up once we bake it. So we're just going to pour it slowly into the pie dish. If you've got holes in your pie dish that you've noticed, if you've got any leftover pastry, it might be a good idea to plug them at this point, otherwise you're going to have chocolate mess everywhere. And we're going to stick this back into the oven, and we're going to bake this for roughly around 15 to 20 minutes. Really keep an eye on it. If it starts bubbling around the edges, whack it out immediately, it's done. You should notice that it should be slightly jiggly in the center like I'm showing here, and nice and set. We're going to let it cool, and we're going to stick it into the fridge just to finally set up, and it'll be a nice sort of firm but soft center. So there you have it, really easy. Slice it up. You can, like I said at the start of the video, you can add some shaved white chocolate, whipped cream. It's entirely up to you how you serve it. Hope you guys enjoy it. Keep your eyes out for the next video in the coming weeks. Thanks guys.